everybody, Mountain Boy here. Just bringing you today a review of my Mystery Ranch In and Out 22. Now what this is, might you ask? Well, this is an ultra lightweight, ultra packable backpack. Basically, it is 22 liters in size, and the idea is something that when you travel, you can take it out and you've got a nice little pack for going on excursions. Or if you're backpacking and you want to have like a little auxiliary pack, which then you can take for kind of peak bagging, you've got something that's kind of fully featured and ready to go. So let's go ahead and see how this pack looks when it's loaded up, what kind of features it has, and I'll show you it in use and in action. Okay, let's take a quick look at this and we'll go over the features of it. So first of all, the pack is made out of like a 100 denier ripstop Kajura material. Obviously kind of, you know, maybe not waterproof, but certainly kind of water resistant. This particular pack is a little different than the other ones kind of in this market, and it has an actual top cover that completely encloses the opening of it. It has this external stash pocket, and this is the same one it unfolds from, where it's kind of a mesh on one side and this 100 denier on the other. But it gives you a pretty sizable compartment on the front. You can put a field guide or something like that in there. YKK zippers all throughout. Has a second stash pocket here that, you know, it's probably comes down to about here, so it gives you a little bit of organization. As far as on the exterior, it has two tool tie-in points, one here and a kind of a mirror over here. And the idea is you can put ice axes or trekking poles, and then they'll kind of lash in at the top up here. As far as water bottle holders, there's kind of a side pocket over here. It's kind of that same mesh material, but there's like a big thing of elastic that runs through it on the side that kind of helps with retention. The straps themselves, they're a breathable mesh, and you can see it also has this nylon piping on the side. It kind of adds shape. They're kind of a contoured strap. This is a really nice touch. So on the sternum strap, it has these types of attachments that lets you vary it, but the nice part about it is it doesn't let it slide. I don't like those plastic ones that slide up and down, and they always kind of end up in the wrong place. So there are also compression straps all the way around, so if you're kind of wanting to put trekking poles on the side, it just gives you a lot of kind of mounting options. As far as the interior, everything kind of opens up from a center draw cord. And you can, first of all, right away see the toggle here. This is for your hydration bladder to hang from it. I would say you could fit a small to medium-sized hydration bladder in there. Then there's the main central compartment. It's pretty much just kind of one main compartment. I think that's kind of nice if you look at the quality features. All the exposed seams are taped and then sewn over. For not only does that give you kind of more longevity, but it also kind of helps with the waterproofness. It kind of keeps the seam tighter and less susceptible to infiltration. On the back, you'll notice there's no structure to this, and there's no breathability on the back panel. So there is one kind of haul loop. It'd be nice if it was a different color, just so if you can see, you can grab it. I'll go ahead and load it up with the things you might expect to see in a day hike, but I'll also kind of go ahead and attach like an ice axe and a trekking pole, just so you can kind of see what it would look like there. Okay, so here's my thoughts about the pack. I'll start with what I like about it, and then I'll talk about what I maybe don't like about it. One thing I really like about it is the fit and finish of all the materials. On other similar packs, it's supposedly like a 200 denier ripstop, but this is like a 100 denier Kajura ripstop, and to tell the truth, I can't tell the difference. I think in a lot of places it's doubled up. Like for example, in the lid here, it's 2 layers. I really like the fact that there's these external daisy chains. It gives you a good place to put a carabiner in, or if you want to lash things to it. I like how with these tool loops, you can have it long, or you can kind of shorten it up, cinch it up, and get it out of the way so that it's something that's not going to snag when you're running around. But you can also extend it to make it long enough to kind of take like a full-size axe. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I've never been able to really get trekking poles to work well with these gear loops. I think what I would either do is just take the leash of it and clip it in, or I would just go ahead and use this water bottle pocket, and then have the trekking pole kind of slide down the side. One thing that's great about this pack that I don't see on other ultralight packs in this class are these side compression straps. And it sounds like a simple thing, but these do two really important functions. One is they let you kind of lash things to the sides like a jacket or trekking poles. But number two is it lets you kind of compact this pack into a really nice manageable size. And you can see here, everything is kind of sewn to where this creates kind of like a nice rectangle. And then these compression straps kind of pulls everything together so that it will ride very nicely on your back. And everything just won't end up in a lump down at the bottom. By having this big external pocket, here I've put a book in here. And what that actually does is provide some structure to the pack, especially in conjunction with these compression straps. That's a really nice feature to have. I think next thing I'll talk about are these straps. In other packs, I'll kind of compare it to my Mountain Hardwear Ultralight 20, which is the same idea. There's just like a basic mesh. It has a little bit of reinforcement to it, and that's about it. What I really like about these are, you can see it's almost a 3-layer breathable mesh. A layer against your shirt or your skin, an exterior layer, and then there's kind of like a mesh in between. So there's kind of some compliance there. And what this does is it kind of gives a moisture wicking pathway for water to come off your shoulders and then evaporate. As far as the internal, I really like having that extra pocket. Kind of my experience again with that Mountain Hardwear is it just has one stash pocket. It's much larger and deeper. It's shaped like a funnel, so everything goes in there, and then you just got to mill around to get it out. It's a pain in the butt. With these, you got this big pocket, and you can fit a lot of stuff in there. And then if you have something that's wet, it can go in and it can continue to dry. With this upper pocket, it's really not very deep, right? So I can kind of reach in and I can kind of find items in there. It also has a bit of a lighter material. It's actually a translucent material that's light through it, so that not only does it give you a good contrast to what's in there, but it actually lets light through into the interior of the pack if you need to be able to see. I really like these drawstrings. That's just really easy to use. You can fold everything back. You can see here you've got your access for your hydration tube. It's only on the left, so I don't know if people are righties, but you got to be a lefty on this one. And you can kind of see here, obviously, because this is just one big compartment, everything just does drop down to the bottom. At least with this, I can actually kind of pack it, and then I can use the compression straps to keep everything in place. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than Mountain Hardwear, and I'll do a video with it, so you can kind of see what I mean. But definitely, for the MSRP, where this is $99 MSRP, but really street price, I've seen this anywhere between $54 and $80, depending upon your tolerance for weird colors. And that's compared to like the Mountain Hardwear, which is $90 MSRP. And the best I saw online was like $81. I would take this pack over that all day long. There's just so many more features, and the design of it and the construction of it. It is certainly a higher level than the Mountain Hardwear. And I'd be interested to see kind of other brands, how they compare to. Okay, things I don't like. Again, there's the whole one compartment, but it would be nice if there was a way to kind of have a little bit more organization in this. Personally, I'll probably use like a Zoid cube or a packing cube for like my jacket or my hat and stick that in, and then stuff can easily sit above that. So that's kind of an easy fix. The water bottle holder, you know, the mesh, I'm not a huge fan of, right? Whenever you have anything hard, like say a bottle or some pickets or something, and then you scrape up against something, you can cut the mesh. But I will say that this mesh is actually very beefy. I think it's at least 2 layers thick, and there's a big piece of elastic here. So it is robust, but it does make getting your water bottle in and out a little harder. But at least it'll take a full 32-ounce bottle. But you can kind of see here, it's not something I'm going to easily put in and out while I'm wearing the pack. In addition to having no structure in the back, it has no moisture management in the back. So that'd be another thing. It'd be interesting to put the same material as here on the back of the backpack, so at least it kind of have some moisture wicking and breathability with it. That would be a real improvement. The other, this is a minor one, is I'd love it if the grab handle was like a silver or a light gray, just something different than the rest of the bag. So I think that's everything I got to kind of say about it. Bottom line, would I buy this again? And I would say yes, in a heartbeat. It's a real improvement over the Mountain Hardwear UL20 that I've had for my kids and my family for a couple years, and especially at the same price point. It definitely represents a higher level of features and I think quality of the build. So anyway, hope you enjoy this video. If you've got any questions or if there's anything you think I left out, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I certainly will try to answer everything I see. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Mountain Boy out.